Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and just before we start, I want to do something different and make a prediction that what we're going to talk about today is probably why you're seeing this video in the very first place. Because what we're going to get into is how over the last few years, YouTube has become a very different place, and it's gone through some pretty big changes, specifically when it comes to gaming. I mean, no doubt you've already probably noticed you don't get the same kind of content recommended to you like you might have seen a few years back. And you've also probably noticed a big chunk of that is focused on negativity, a lot of it directed at AAA games, and trust me, that's not a coincidence. Alright, so to kick off, why is this happening? Well, it's all got to do with something called the YouTube algorithm. And what this is basically a system YouTube has put in place which is supposed to show you what it thinks you want to see, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to show you what you're subscribed to. For example, if you search for cat video, YouTube is going to pick up on that, and in your recommendations, you're going to see a lot more of what it thinks are cat videos. And most importantly, it's likely going to show you what it thinks are the most popular cat videos, and it may even start showing you videos unrelated to that topic that other people just happen to be watching after they've watched the cat videos. Now, just bear that in mind, because since the dawn of time, and especially the internet, what have humans been consistently entertained by? Well, drama and conflict. And I don't need to tell you that drama is a huge deal on YouTube, and some of the biggest channels sadly thrive on that sort of stuff these days. People also generally like controversy, and they like to see things knocked down a few pegs, or better yet, completely destroyed. And so, like I said before, when the YouTube algorithm is picking up on what people want, then sure enough, it's going to pick up on that, which is the situation that sadly we currently find ourselves in. Now, obviously YouTube negativity and drama has always been a thing, but for me, the big trend we're currently seeing, I think really started to ramp up in about 2017. Because firstly, we kicked off with Destiny 2, which was widely criticized at the time, and later on in the year, Disney released this little movie, if you haven't heard of it, called Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which, spoiler alert, a lot of people didn't like. And you know what? I didn't like The Last Jedi either, and I wanted justification like the human I am for my confirmation bias, and so I clicked on a few videos that were popping up at the time, ripping into it. And so did a lot of other people, and so the YouTube algorithm kicked in, and suddenly the creators making these videos started to figure out, hey, hang on, these videos are getting a lot of attention. Now, like I said before, one of the things the YouTube algorithm does is recommends videos that aren't necessarily related, but are similar to the videos you've been watching. So the question is, what other Star Wars related controversy happened within a month of the release of The Last Jedi? And well, just in case you live under a rock and you happen to miss this one as well, Star Wars Battlefront 2 happened, and the fact that loot boxes had been in tons of games before that, AAA or otherwise, the internet chose to specifically explode on this one, and they tore DICE and EA to pieces because of it. I mean, obviously ripping into AAA publishers wasn't a new thing, and don't think I'm defending them by saying this, but you've got to understand that growing a channel by ripping into Star Wars was just made so easy by the failure of The Last Jedi. And once again, over the subsequent few months, a lot of creators this time in the gaming community figured this out, and they switched over to negative content about Star Wars and by extension EA, and now, as we've seen, it clearly didn't stop there because the YouTube algorithm just made it so easy to keep going. So fast forward to now, and if you're watching this channel, I don't need to tell you, Battlefield 5 took a massive hit, just like Battlefront 2 did last year. And obviously more recently, Fallout 76 took one as well, and just in the last few days, I've even noticed quite a few channels trying to tear Anthem a new one. And in saying that, I'm sure a lot of you guys are saying to yourself, but hey, there's a really good reason that all of those games took a hit. They all have issues, which is completely true. But the thing is, I don't want to see that shit on my recommended feed. I want to see the people I'm actually subscribed to, and I don't want it especially driving the regular non-review style content out of the searches, which is what it's currently doing. Also, and here's the main point of this video, whether or not the negativity you see on YouTube is justified or not, and some of it is, let's face it, a lot of the guys that are profiting from it are milking it on purpose. A lot of these guys aren't the white knights of the gaming community they all but claim to be. What they've done is they've stumbled on an easy way to make a career out of talking trash on the internet. And so just like in the way we all know that a lot of the old school established gaming journalists are often going to actively overhype games on purpose, it seems like these guys are actively underhyping them. And so if you do come across a YouTube channel, and you will, that seems to make negative content for pretty much every video, well, trust me, be very skeptical of the unresearched clickbait it probably is, because sure, the AAA publishers may not be paying their bills, but let's not pretend they aren't getting paid for what they are saying. But anyway, guys, that just about wraps up this video. So once again, before we go, I just want to make it clear again that I'm not defending any publishers, studios, or games in this video. And another thing, I also want to make the point that if you are the kind of person who likes this sort of content, I'm not having a go at you either. That's completely fine. That's not the point of this video. I'm just unhappy that it's disproportionately dominating searches and pushing other stuff out that previously would have been there a few years ago. Anyway, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please feel free to check out the links in the description if you want to see any more of these videos. And also don't forget you can find my Twitter and Discord links down there as well if you want to keep in touch. And as always, until next time, see you later, and have a good one.